Hello and welcome to the Property Show. 60 minutes of everything that's real estate. Big news, big views and best buys. That's what we get you. Let's tell you what's on the menu today. Smart properties in Gurgaon and the IT city Bangalore. That's first up on the show. We also have budget homes. That's right time to invest into Hyderabad Realty. We're going to look at that. What are the potential projects worth your money? Next up, no amount of price rise or economic slowdown seems to have dampened home loan demand. We bring you a special report on how are banks gearing up for this big market and a special focus on reverse mortgage, how it works to ease out your cash flows if in need. First up though, Property Show, a quick wrap of the week's top real estate news.
The Maharashtra Legislative Assembly has passed the Maharashtra Housing Bill, which seeks to set up what will be the country's first real estate regulator. While the bill is expected to be passed in the Legislative Council during the ongoing session, the law will come into force only following the President's assent, which could take up to 6 months. In major amendments to the bill, errant developers will face 3 years imprisonment as punishment along with a penalty of 10 lakh rupees. Developers who fail to give possession within the promised period or abandon a project will have to refund the buyer's investment with a 15% interest and also pay a penalty. The Delhi High Court has ruled the land-owning agencies like the Delhi Development Authority or DDA can be empowered to execute and register deeds of apartment in cases where builders fail to do so. This order effectively eases the process of transferring exclusive ownership rights to flat buyers and ensure that they do not have to struggle to sell it, obtain loan on it or leave it to their children as legally recognized endowment. The High Court order states that a secretary in the Delhi administration or the vice chairman of DDA or the land and development officer of the central government can be authorized as the competent authority. Punjab is set to become yet another state to roll out online registration and property and land records. Mohali will be the first district to benefit from this unique project, which would be up and running by October this year. The State Revenue Department said that this project was aimed at infusing transparency in revenue transactions and it would also minimize interaction between the government and consumer, thus minimizing corruption. If you're a resident of Mumbai, then brace yourselves to receive a hefty property tax bill, calculated under the new introduced capital value-based system. Owners of buildings, both residential and office complexes, which have come up after 2010 will have to pay property tax arrears starting from April 2010. For older buildings, which have been receiving provisional bills, the final bill will be adjusted to reflect the outstanding or refund amount calculated according to the new system. The BMC will also send a special notice that will reflect the property's capital value. Citizens will get 21 days to raise objections on the bill. The circle rates of properties in Noida, Greater Noida, Dadri and Jawar will reportedly be raised by 10 to 30% by the district administration. Circle rates for residential and group housing might be increased by around 15 to 30%, while circle rates for institutional and commercial properties is likely to be hiked by around 20 to 30%, and circle rate for the industrial sector will be increased by 10%. According to the district administration, the hiked circles rates will discourage people from buying and selling property below the market price, because the proposed circle rate will cover the gap between the present circle price and its market value, he added. Small residential flats at cheap rents will now soon be available to Mumbaikars in Thane under the government's new rental housing scheme. 2 projects in Thane, one at Vartak Nagar and the other at Manpada, will supply about 3,000 units by August this year. Under the rental housing scheme, MMRDA plans to construct rental housing to be given on rent ranging between 800 to 1500 rupees. Any individual who has been a resident of Maharashtra for the last 15 years and has a minimum monthly income of 5,000 rupees would be able to avail a home under the scheme. Real estate major DLF has announced plans to cut down its 23,000 crore debt to about 17,000 crores this fiscal by selling at least 2 out of its 3 big-ticket non-core businesses. DLF has put its luxury hospitality chain Aman Resorts, wind energy and a huge land holding in Mumbai on the block as part of its plan to exit from non-core ventures and focus only on the property business. But DLF Group Executive Director Rajiv Talwar reportedly said that they were not unduly perturbed by their debt pile as they had an annual rental income of 1800 crores. But this rental income roughly equals the interest payments that the company has to dole out on its borrowings. The Uttar Pradesh government has announced a slew of development projects of Kanpur and also called for a speedy execution of its industrial city. The Uttar Pradesh Chief Secretary directed authorities to submit a layout plan within a month's time for smooth commencement of a leather park, IT park, electronic city, apparel park and a commercial sector to be set up in the bordering Unnao district under Special Economy Zone. The government has also directed the authorities to finalize land in Ramabai Nagar district for construction of a new airport. The Planning Commission has admitted that India will not be able to achieve its $1 trillion target for investment in the infrastructure sector during the 12th plan in view of lower economic growth prospects. Nearly half of this investment was to be channelized into construction projects. Planning Commission Deputy Chairman Montek Singh Ahluwalia said that given the global and domestic situation, achieving 9% growth for a 5-year average was just not feasible. The Blackstone Group is set to acquire 36% ownership in the tenanted office space portfolio of Southern developer Embassy Property Developments for about 1,300 crores according to reports. This will be Blackstone's biggest real estate deal in India, giving it part ownership of more than 12 million square feet office towers housing prominent technology names. Embassy will demerging the FDI complaint office buildings in which Blackstone will acquire a significant minority interest. Blackstone has signed a term sheet with the Bangalore-based developer and is conducting due diligence.
India's #1 news app just got even better. Download NDTV's new app. Fully optimized for Retina display. Full screen view. Faster response time. And Sudoku. NDTV's new iPad app. Download now.